Awesome, guys. Welcome back. We are diving in now into the Evergreen Marketing Playbook. And so, like we discussed in the intro section where we dove into your strategy and really broke apart and created your marketing plan, the Evergreen side of things is the thing that we focus in on the most here at Carrot. And then you'll see in the next section for playbooks, we amplify it with paid marketing and even hamster wheel marketing. I know we'll talk about hamster wheel marketing a good bit in this section, and you've probably heard me talk about Evergreen versus hamster wheel. To us, it's not one or the other. It's both, but you want to grow more and more into the Evergreen side of things. That's where you create your consistency, your freedom, your flexibility. You can make a greater impact with your business, but also that's where your most valuable and highest converting leads come from, is from that. And then we amplify it with the stuff we'll talk about in the next section. So I'm going to be diving into my iPad right now. And in this section here, I'm going to be talking about a few different things. The shifting industry and the marketing shift that has to happen with this shift in real estate and in the tech disruption in general in many industries, not just real estate. So I'll talk about this shift. I'm going to dive into what evergreen marketing is in this section, what it is not, and how you can really start to essentially how it works. What does it actually look like? Because you might be thinking, this sounds amazing. It sounds amazing to be able to get more consistent leads, more predictable leads, higher quality leads, people who are reaching out to you rather than you having to reach out to them, to where you don't have to sit there and post on Facebook 18 times a day or Instagram, to where you put up a piece of marketing today and it works for you in 6 months and a year and 3 years and 5 years. You might say, yes, I want that, but what is it? So I'm going to walk through what that is in here. I'll show a couple of examples and case studies to really connect you for how it works for buyers, how it works for sellers, and then we'll move on to the next section as well. So my goal here is to get you to shift your marketing mindset into what's going to work amazingly well in the market ahead. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. We have other videos specifically on this, but the industry is shifting. So let's dive into the iPad now. The industry is shifting. And you can see with the industry shift, there's two parts of the industry. There's the retail side of the industry, and then there's the wholesale side. The retail side is working through the MLS, working with real estate agents. The wholesale side, of course, just like any industry, the auto industry, the grocery industry, all of those have retail and wholesale sides. Both of them serve a great purpose. Some people just want to buy properties at a discount for an investment. They don't want to pay retail. And some people just want to sell properties at a discount in exchange for speed and convenience with solving their problem. And many real estate agents don't tread into the other side very often. Many wonder, why would that seller sell at a discount when they could sell it over here for a higher price? Well, oftentimes that seller wants to sell because of many reasons. They are needing to move fast, or they had a bad experience selling it traditionally before, or they want cash quickly and they need it within 30 or 60 days. And they don't want to have to put up with showings and people going through and making offers and backing out, or a variety of other reasons. It's a big market over there, and it's going to keep growing with the iBuyers. Now I've got the iBuyers coming in the middle, the big tech giants, who are starting to say, hey, I think we can do a little bit of what agents do a little bit better, and I think we can do a little bit of what house buyers, the professional house buyers, do a little bit better. And we're going to bring in better branding, better marketing, huge budgets, and try to shift the overall industry towards direct selling. Now, I feel that there will be more and more sellers selling directly to an end buyer through an investor or through an iBuyer service like this. But I still feel that real estate agents are going to be the backbone of house sales over the next several decades. It will just change. And we want to make sure that you are not becoming a commodity. We want to make sure that your commissions and your profits as an investor or agent are not being compressed. And we want to make sure that you don't die a slow death in your career because of this shift and getting left behind in this shift. So the next question is this. Well, how do we stand out in this market? How do we stand out when there's a lot of agents, when there's a lot of investors, and there's these iBuyers and tech giants coming in to try to disrupt the industry? Well, we stand out not by creating fancier CRMs and fancier automation with text and email. That stuff is amazing. That stuff amplifies what you've already got. The way that we actually stand out is by becoming an authority. Okay, it's an authority on a topic, on a neighborhood, on a certain type of a seller situation, in the area, on real estate, whatever it is, becoming an authority that people look to say, wow, that person knows a lot about this subject. I trust that person, and I feel less risk in taking care of better if I work with that person with this type of transaction. And with the authority scale here, it goes all the way from, at the very bottom, a tactician. That person is someone who knows how to take the steps. They know how to do the basics of a transaction as a real estate investor or agent. That person, they can close deals, but their earning potential is going to be very, very low. Okay. Over here, their influence is also going to be very, very low on those clients in that industry. So in order to raise your income and become more stable as an agent or an investor, you need to start to then step up to the next part, which is being an expert. You're well beyond just knowing how to do the tactics, shuffling the paper, knowing how to do the transaction, but you're actually an expert in something. You're an expert in a neighborhood or neighborhoods, and a type of a buyer, a type of a seller. You're an expert in certain types of transactions as an investor that are creative finance. Or if you're an agent, you're an expert in commercial property, investment properties, and you've put in the time to invest into learning the expertise in that. Okay, that's going to increase your pay, and it's also going to increase your ability to influence your market to work with you so you can serve them better. But this right here is where the people are going to win. There's going to be a lot of people in this next phase that are going to get pushed out of the market that are tacticians. Technology is going to gobble up those people, and they're going to make it streamlined with technology. Okay, experts are great, but the difference between an expert and an authority is an expert that a lot of people know is an expert. Okay, an expert is just someone who knows a lot of information, but no one may know who you are. And how do you get to have people know who you are? Well, the more people that know who you are and they know that you are an expert on this topic, the more people will know you, the more people will be attracted to you, and the more business you will have, and the more sustained and consistent that business will be. Okay? And the way to bridge that gap between expert and authority and increase your pay, decrease your risk in the market, increase your ability to stay and thrive in this market change while these two segments have a tougher time and they start to go downhill, is you become an authority. Now, what is the only way to become an authority? The only way to become an authority, y'all, is with content. Okay, this video right here is content. That's one way to do it. I'm sitting in front of a camera. Or another way to do content is with my cell phone. I can take it, I can pull it out, I can record a video, upload it on Facebook. That's content. When people see that content, they see my expertise or my personality or whatever it is, right? They are seeing my authority on that subject, especially if they see it over and over again. It could be a written piece of content. It could be you in front of a Chamber of Commerce meeting. That is content, even though it's in person. The difference between what we do here at Carrot and what a lot of agents or investors are doing, if you're showing up to those networking meetings or meeting one-to-one at a coffee shop, that's amazing. Okay, but you can only scale that so far. Okay, what happens during situations where there's pandemics like America and the whole world has been through recently? You can no longer show up to those big networking meetings. You can no longer go in the coffee shop and shake someone's hand. But what you can do is people can find you online. And online is getting bigger and bigger. It's getting more and more popular. More and more people are going to the internet to make Google searches. And that's where we want you to be. We want you to be rooted in this authority, or maybe even eventually branch up to the celebrity authority in your market. Now, how do you do that? And this is where evergreen marketing steps in. Okay, evergreen marketing is so amazing. This is why we've gone all in on evergreen marketing. It's what we've done since day one of Carrot. We're not a company that started out doing X and then we realized this opportunity, we're shifting our strategy. We've been doing evergreen marketing since day one. It's what the entire business has been built on, since the inception of Carrot at the end of 2013, 2014. Millions of leads have been brought in through our system, mainly motivated sellers, but also a ton of buyers, a ton of tenants, land sellers, land buyers, mobile homes, houses, you name it. Okay. So what evergreen marketing is essentially creating content. I'll show you here in the following modules, creating content, getting it online in a spot where it's going to be there forever, your website or your authority hub here with Carrot, and then amplifying that on social media. Where a lot of agents and investors go wrong is they take content and they just put it on Facebook or Instagram. Now that to me is what's called hamster wheel marketing. Okay, if you're creating a piece of content and you just put it up on Facebook or Instagram, it's going to be there for 24 to 48, maybe 72 hours before it gets pushed down the thing, what happens? You have to get back on the hamster wheel and post again and post again and post again, because the lifespan of that content is so short. Let's get this puppy back on. The lifespan of that content is so short that you have to continually be on the hamster wheel. If you get off of the hamster wheel, if you stop doing those postings, if you stop doing direct mail, if you stop cold calling or doing RVMs, then your leads will eventually dwindle down to a stop and you've got to restart and get back on the hamster wheel. Now, the other way that we like to focus in on outside of hamster wheel, right, is evergreen. That's more like picturing a stack of bricks down there. And you see the bricks are there, and the bricks could be a wall. Like, they could be a wall. They could do all this work for you, but it's going to take some work. Over here, you see the hamster wheel. And the hamster wheel looks amazing because it's easy. You can hop on it. You can take a step, and it immediately gives you feedback. It immediately gives you a result. But the problem, like I had mentioned earlier, is you have to stay on the hamster wheel forever or plug somebody into the hamster wheel for you in order for it to keep giving you the result. That's where people get burnt out as agents or investors. They do marketing that works. Everyone tells them, do this method, but 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, they get burnt out because they're still doing that hamster wheel marketing with no end in sight, no systems to make it evergreen, and this is where we want to change it. So that stack of bricks, let's go back to that. Okay, each one of those stacks of bricks to me represents a piece of content, a page on your website, something that's going to be there forever. Okay, it could be a video, it could be a location page of a neighborhood you do business in. It could be a blog post that you launched through our automated blog post system or that you wrote, or a video post on our system where you took a short video from your cell phone, uploaded it to our video post feature, which automatically turned it from a video into a written article for you that you can then publish. Each one of those. So pick up a brick and stack it. Pick up a brick and stack it. Eventually, you're going to have a whole row of bricks. It was dirty. It was hard work. You did a lot of work putting that in there, right? And you might pull back and go, man, I've done a bunch of work here. I've done a bunch of work and I'm not getting the result yet. That one row is not a wall. What would happen if house builders stopped building a brick house at the first row? They're like, man, that was a lot of work. My hands are hurting. You know, it's not a wall yet. I'm just going to quit. Well, there wouldn't be a house. And that's where most people quit and stop in evergreen marketing. As they do a few actions, they're waiting for this instant gratification like hamster wheel marketing gives them, but they didn't shift their mindset to the long-term momentum building mindset yet. And so instead, get on the hamster wheel, get some leads and deals coming in, but then go back to that stack of bricks. Another piece of content this week, another piece of content next week, a blog post next week, a video post, a location page. And eventually you're going to have a brick wall that does all the work for you. Just like this on the iPad. We'll jump back to the iPad. You've got that. It's going to be slow going the first 3, 4, 5, 6 months potentially. But as long as you're consistent stacking bricks of quality content that answers real questions from your market, you're entertaining in your own way, you're going to start to pick up that momentum like that. Evergreen or hamster wheel marketing, you get a quick result, but then you get off of it and it goes down. Okay, then you got to go, shoot, I got to get more business. You get on it, get off, get on it, get off. This creates stress. This creates freedom. Okay, and that's what we're about here. Freedom or stress. You pick which one you want. So how long does this take to work? Well, basically, this little graph is going to show you here in the iPad, essentially the time to results that we want to have you expect. Okay, that first 1 to 2 months is when we're really going to be dialing things in. By now, you should have already had your website or what we call an authority hub created. It should be launched. Hopefully, your domain is attached to it. If you're on this section, you have not launched a Carrot site yet and dialed it in and got your logo up there and changed some of the content and got some of your location pages created. If you haven't done that yet, then you're going to want to go back to phase 1 of getting started. Once you've got that dialed in, this is where we're going to be starting to bring traffic to your website that you're going to be doing. So dial it in those first couple months, get that credibility, get your content started. In months 2 to 5, 2 to 6 or so, that's when we want to start some of that short-term marketing like we have in the next playbook. Okay, paid marketing, quick traffic methods, things like that. In month 5 to 12 is when you really start to see this evergreen content marketing pick up and get momentum. Okay, so in those months right here, that's when you are going to be doing a lot of work on the evergreen marketing, but may not see as the highest level of result that you see over on Hamster Wheel. And this is what it kind of looks like here. So in this short term, once again, that's where this evergreen marketing playbook works in tandem with the short term or quick result marketing playbook that you'll see next. In those first 3 months, execute things from that short-term marketing playbook that to get traffic and leads coming in immediately. But while you're executing that, you're going to want to be building the foundation, executing the long-term momentum-building evergreen marketing, which is just simply creating content on your website on a consistent basis that Google likes, that answers questions for people's problems. So here's how it works. Let's go back to the iPad. How evergreen marketing works is like this. People are searching online every day, right? It could be a person who's a seller, a buyer, a tenant. They've got a problem. They go to Google, just like you and I do. They take out their cell phone and they do a search. It could be something like, best neighborhoods in Roseburg, Oregon to live in, or top real estate agents in blah, or how to sell my house fast in XYZ, or how to sell my house in foreclosure in XYZ city. So they're going and searching online every day. Next, what you need to do is number 2, create valuable content and put it on your website. So if we know there's a flood of your best prospects who are proactively seeking out a solution, you don't have to bang them over the head with your marketing. They're looking for you. Then you need to get in front of them. The way to get in front of them online in Google is with valuable content. Google loves content. And so it could be a video like we're seeing here from Anthony Beckham. It could be a blog post. It could be a location page where you're talking about areas and neighborhoods you buy or sell houses in. And you can see this one from Anthony. He talks about the top 5 neighborhoods in Roseburg, Oregon. He put it there and he put it on YouTube. We'll talk about where to put your content in other plays down as we go. And this one within, less than a month has almost 900 views just on YouTube and is already starting to get rankings in Google for phrases his ideal prospects would be searching. So as long as your website is optimized well and that content piece is optimized well, which we teach you how to do in the plays below here in the Evergreen Marketing Playbook, then you have a really high chance of getting it ranked really high in Google, just like this, right? North Umpqua River Homes for Sale. The number 1 result in Google is a carrot site. One of their location pages, they stacked a brick and created a bunch of location pages, and it's outranking Zillow. And that produces leads every single month for them of people who are looking to buy in that luxury home area. Okay, so you get the idea of it's creating content that adds value to people's lives. Okay, now you start to create more of that content. It lives and breathes, it works for you 24 hours a day. Rinse and repeat that same process each and every week. That's kind of our prescription to it. You've got to start shifting some of your patterns, start shifting some of your thoughts on what marketing is for you. Shift some of your hamster wheel efforts into evergreen efforts, and then you start to stack more and more content pieces onto your website, okay? And then to really make it hum, those content pieces you get on your website, share them up on social media, share them up on Facebook, just like you see here with Anthony, linking up his carrot page right there with his video, and he has over 16,000 views right there. Let me show you a couple case studies, and then we'll bounce into the plays of exactly how to line out your content plan, how to create simple content, and then we'll give you the plays and what to do with it when you've created it. And once again, the whole strategy in your first 2 to 3 months is going to be the most work. That's probably where you're going to be putting 3 to 5 hours a week in to creating the content, getting your marketing plan created in that first month or so. Okay, after the first month, you might want to dial it down into an hour or 2 a week. Okay, then after that first 6 months, then it's probably going to be more like an hour a week, and that's just that's your weekly marketing commitment as far as your content. You're going to see your momentum really, really bloom. So here's a case study for how Brian Rockwell, an investor down in Dallas, Texas, is getting sellers through evergreen marketing. Okay, there's a full case study. We will link it up below on how Brian Rockwell has done that, and hundreds of other, if not thousands of other carrot clients have done the same thing. But he went from school teacher to multi-million-dollar wholesaling and house flipping business and multi-family investment company just from evergreen marketing and amplifying it with paid marketing, like you'll learn in the next playbook. This is a text message he sent us. 6 wholesale deals this month. If all goes through, $124,000. 4 came from pay-per-click. We'll teach you parts of that in the next playbook. And then 1 came from organic and 1 came from retargeting. Okay, so that right there is an amazing, amazing result for sellers, motivated households. Let's look at a real estate agent, G-Team, for buyers. North Umpqua River Homes for Sale. I already showed you that anyone who types up that phrase in Google now, it took about 4 to 5 months of doing the process, putting their heads down, doing the work, or you can hire our services team to do some of this work for you. They're ranking above Zillow and Realtor. What happens? What does that equal? Well, it equals leads. There's a lead right there that came through that form. Here's another lead that came through that form. Here's another lead that came through that form. They get leads every single day from that one page. Now imagine if you started to stack on more of those pages. You get 3 leads from this one every month, and 2 leads from this one every month, and 10 leads from this one every month, and 3 leads from this one, and none from this one, but 6 from this and 3 for this. You get the idea. Okay, here's another case study, niche seller leads. So let's say you're going after sellers who are in tight niches. They have a problem. They're searching online. Well, sell my inherited house in Detroit, or sell my house in divorce, or sell my luxury home, or how to sell my house without a real estate agent, or how to sell my house with a real estate agent, phrases like that. Well, what if you were ranked really high in Google for that phrase, just like these Carrot clients are, and they're ranked in front of those clients? What does it turn into? Well, it turns into leads just like this I'm showing you here in the iPad. This one came through Steve's Carrot website. He put evergreen content up there. That was a blog post that he used from our automated blog system, and he used one of our plays in the playbook to modify those to give it a better chance to rank well in Google. And you can see this one came from Google search, and this one came in at 7:33 p.m. Carrot is working while you are eating dinner, while you're hanging out with your family, or while you're sleeping. Carrot's working. That is what evergreen marketing is. We want it to give you freedom. And this is the last part right here, y'all. The whole thing with the strategy of evergreen marketing, like I said, it is a fundamental shift in the way that you do things. If you want to be on the hamster wheel for the next 5 or 10 years and grinding away in 5 or 10 years and having to continue to post and continue to do things and continue to work 5, 6, 7 days a week, then keep on doing hamster wheel marketing as your only marketing method. We want to start to have you shift things over to evergreen marketing, which is going to take work. It's going to take focus. It's going to take effort. But that shift, you're going to be looking back in 12 months and 24 months going, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I made this shift in my business, because now I have freedom. I have flexibility. I've got this machine, an authority hub that is continually attracting the right prospects that convert the best, that convert the highest, that want to work with us. And this is what your site's going to look like essentially. Okay, you've got your core homepage right there. You've got your core pages, your about page, your contact page, stuff like that, reviews. Over here, you've got your location pages or your niche pages, okay? Your core pages, you do those kind of one time, okay? You launch your about page. You might modify it every now and then, but it's kind of a one-time thing. Your location or niche pages, that's kind of a quarterly thing. Each quarter, I suggest you pull back and go, what other location pages or niche pages do we want to create for sellers or for buyers in our local areas? Launch 2 or 3, 4 or 5 a quarter, and then that's going to be a really, really good cadence for you. But then on the weekly basis, that's where your authority content comes from. That's doing a video post that's a 3-minute video teaching people how to do something, or about a certain neighborhood, or how you can help them if they inherited a house. It's writing an article if you'd rather write. Most people would rather use our video post feature. It's using our automated content feature and modifying those to help them rank better. And then just doing one every single week. Okay, that's it, guys. That's under an hour a week, one every single week. And over time, you're going to see these stack up and Google start to pick them up and start to bring you traffic. Then eventually you can start to get off of that hamster wheel and you can start to stack those bricks and get that freedom you're looking for. All right, check out the other plays in this series. Hopefully I've got your mindset shifted around what to do in this. You understand what evergreen marketing is now. When you're ready to dive into evergreen marketing, check out the evergreen marketing playbook in this guide, and we're going to teach you everything you need to do to crush it in evergreen marketing, gain that freedom, gain that flexibility, and grow momentum.